Chapter 69, 4th year, April. Saturday, April 26th, 1975.
Remus Lupin, put that book down at once.
Madame Pomfrey's shrill, tired voice echoed across the infirmary floor. Remus dropped the heavy textbook, looking up, startled.
"Can you see through the screen?"
He called back. He had thought he was practically alone.
No,
She replied.
I just know you too well.
She appeared, stepping around the pale green hospital screens. It was lighter, beyond them. Pomfrey had cast a spell which created a capsule of darkness around Remus's bed, so that he could get some sleep, she said. She snatched the book up now, giving him a stern look.
I had hoped you'd be resting your eyes, not straining them.
"I can see in the dark."
He shrugged. It was true. No matter how much punishment his body took, his eyes remained perfect. Better than perfect, even.
No excuse.
Madame Pomfrey tutted.
As you're up, I suppose you're ready for visitors?
"Yeah, of course."
He sat up eagerly, straightening his nightshirt.
Come on, then.
She called to James, Sirius and Peter, who appeared single file from behind the screen.
Not too much noise and no books.
"Why can't you have books?"
James asked, leaning over the end of the bed frame.
"Because it's Mooney,"
Sirius said, flinging himself bodily across the small single bed right over Remus's legs.
"He doesn't understand moderation."
"I just want to revise."
Remus sighed, rubbing the back of his head.
I mean, I'm at school. It's what I'm supposed to do."
He accepted a chocolate frog from Peter, who was handing them out.
"You don't want to burn out, though.
Sirius said, his own mouth full of chocolate.
You're miles ahead of the rest of the class, and exams aren't for ages."
"They're 2 weeks away."
James said, nibbling at his own piece of chocolate, surprisingly daintily.
"You could do with being a bit better prepared, Black."
Oh, I am sorry.
Sirius rolled his blue eyes dramatically, rolling onto his back. Remus winced.
I forgot you joined the SWAT club, too.
"One afternoon in the library does not make me a SWAT."
James frowned, clearly deeply offended.
"Don't listen to him, James."
Remus grinned.
"I'm proud of you. Thanks for the frogs, Pete."
"Oh, they're not from me,"
Peter said, settling into the armchair beside the bed.
"Desi says she hopes you get well soon."
Remus, Peter and James all turned their heads at once.
Desi?
Sirius said, sitting up.
You mean Desdemona?
Yeah.
Peter stopped chomping chocolate and started looking nervous.
She asked me why I couldn't see her today, so I told her I was seeing Mooney. What?
He looked from James to Sirius.
I didn't say anything about why he was sick. I just said...
You idiot!
Sirius jumped down from the bed.
"Sirius."
Remus hissed. If they were too loud, Madame Pomfrey would chase them out.
"It's fine. Really."
It's not fine. Sirius seethed. He was standing over Peter now.
You can't go telling everyone Remus is in the hospital wing. Not everyone is as slow on the uptake as you. Doesn't the word secret mean anything to you?
You know it does,
Peter said, jutting out his chin, his lower lip trembling.
I've kept all sorts of...
He glanced furtively at Remus, then changed tact.
Anyway, Desi's not everyone. She's my girlfriend.
So what?
Sirius raged.
You're going to tell every tart that lets you stick your slimy tongue down her throat?
Peter's eyes filled with furious tears. He sniffed, hard, and rubbed his nose, standing up.
Just because I've got a girlfriend? Just because... Because some of us actually like spending time with girls.
Sirius's face seemed to transform into a new, terrible kind of rage that Remus had never seen before. His heart was pounding a mile a minute. Remus could hear it clear as a bell.
What are you trying to say, Pettigrew?
That I'd rather be with Desi than you lot right now. Sorry, Remus.
Peter said, very quickly, before departing, storming out of the ward with a newly confident stride. There was a steely silence, and Remus found he couldn't bring himself to look at Sirius. Whatever emotion he was working through seemed like something which ought to be private. He looked at James instead, still standing at the foot of the bed, chewing his lip. He met Remus's eye and gave him a reassuring smile.
"Moody pair of buggers, eh?"
He broke the tension.
"Anyway, how are you feeling? Moon go okay?"
"Yeah, no scars."
Remus nodded, slowly, aware of Sirius's heart still beating loudly at his shoulder.
Nothing broken either. Maybe I'm finally getting good at being a werewolf.
What did he mean?
Sirius said suddenly, turning to look at James.
I don't know, mate.
Potter shrugged.
Don't listen to him. He gave as good as he got. You're just miffed because he finally stuck up for himself.
He meant something.
Sirius muttered.
How's Quidditch going?
Remus asked quickly.
Ready for the final?
James's brow smoothed instantly, and he straightened up, eager to tell Remus all about his big plans for the upcoming Ravenclaw game. The Slytherin-Gryffindor rematch had taken place in late March, and much to everyone's surprise, Regulus Black had resumed his role as Seeker. James had quietly told Remus afterwards that Regulus had threatened half of the Slytherins with painful disfigurement charms if word got back to Walburga that he was back on the team. Gryffindor had won by only 5 points, which was lucky because Remus couldn't imagine Sirius being in a worse mood than he already was. Things had not been good. For his part, Remus had been trying to be extra kind to Sirius ever since February. Though Remus had always known that the Blacks were far from an ideal, nurturing family unit, he had always sort of assumed that it couldn't be that bad. After all, in his experience, adults were there to maintain order, to instruct, and to punish. James had had an extremely cushy time of it, as far as Remus was concerned, so it had made sense that he was sympathetic towards Sirius. Perhaps it was maturity, or perhaps it was having seen bright, vivacious Sirius brought low by his own mother. But Remus was finally beginning to understand that whatever went on in the noble and ancient House of Black was not normal. In fact, it was entirely unacceptable. The fact that Sirius had survived under such oppression for so long without turning into Snape or just cracking under the weight of it was remarkable. Remus knew how hard it was to push against other people's expectations, against your own nature sometimes. It was starting to show, though, maybe since Remus's birthday, after Sirius had got himself so horrendously drunk and they had holed up together in that cold tunnel. Though that might just have been when Remus first noticed it, it could well have started after Regulus's fall. But there had been a definite shift. Sirius was tired, worn out, like Remus felt after a moon. Some of the fight had left him, that much was clear. He still got angry, but it came in short bursts, and he would quickly sink into a dark and quiet mood. The late-night conversations with James had resumed too. Remus was not invited. He didn't exactly expect to be, but he had thought they'd got a bit closer that year, and that maybe Sirius would choose to confide in both of them. But the only thing Sirius seemed to want from Remus these days was cigarettes. If Remus had the heart to charge him, he might have made a fortune. Sirius was rarely without a fag behind his ear, or between his lips.
Teenage mood swings.
Lily had said decisively when Marlene mentioned that Sirius seemed out of sorts.
Honestly,
The redhead sighed, tossing her hair.
he acts like everything that happens to him is some great drama, but he's no different than the rest of us. Hormones.
Well,
Mary frowned.
his family is a bit of a nightmare. Dark wizards and that. Can't be easy with everything that's going on in the papers.
Sirius isn't a dark wizard.
Remus said immediately.
I know that.
Mary snapped.
I just meant that he might be feeling a bit torn, that's all.
She had been snapping at Remus a lot since Snape's Veritaserum prank. Even though Remus had apologised profusely, and many times, he couldn't deny that the things he'd said had been the truth.
Sorry.
He said again, ducking his head.
You're right. He hasn't got it easy.
You of all people shouldn't pity him, Remus.
Lily huffed, slamming down an entirely new pile of revision books.
What's that supposed to mean?
He's had every advantage over you and still can't be a nice person.
She said, dividing the books up between the 4 of them.
He's ridiculously wealthy, pure blood, old magic, privately educated, has both of his parents. Ugh, he and Potter are so...
James and Sirius are not that alike.
Was the only response Remus had. It seemed like everyone was in a bad mood. In the hospital wing, James had finally run out of things to say about the Ravenclaw match, which was scheduled for early May, just before exams started. He seemed to have noticed that Remus had tuned out and had fallen silent. Sirius was bored too, and had started trying to transfigure various items around the bed, a lamp, an unused bedpan, the empty vase on the nightstand.
Sorry.
Remus said.
It's a bit boring for you two here. You don't have to stay.
Nonsense.
James waved a hand, carelessly.
Nothing else to do around here. Ravenclaw have booked the pitch for the rest of the day, and Sirius won't come to the library with me, so...
Potter had started putting extra effort into his studies that year for the first time, much to Sirius's disappointment. At first, Remus had thought it was another ploy to get close to Lily, but James never asked to be involved in their study group, and actually appeared to prefer working alone. He told them that his parents had threatened to take his broom away for the summer if his results weren't better than last year. But Sirius had whispered to Remus afterwards that actually, McGonagall had warned him that if he didn't pull his socks up, he wouldn't get a chance at being Quidditch captain.
You can quiz me if you want,
Remus said, cheering up a bit.
Ask me stuff about potions, then I'll do whichever subject you want.
History.
James sighed.
I am crap at history.
Ugh, well, if you're going to do that, I'll go.
Sirius said, hauling himself up.
I'm crap at all of it.
No, you're not. Don't be stupid.
Nah, I'm off.
Sirius shook his head, distracted.
Maybe I'll go and find some girls to hang around with, since that's so important to everyone.
Since when has stuff Peter says bothered you?
Remus frowned, but it was too late. Sirius was already leaving. Remus looked at James. James ran a hand through his hair.
Sorry, Mooney, just ignore him. It's not you, or Peter, come to that. He got an owl from home this morning.
Oh, right.
Remus looked down. He should have realised.
Yeah, they've told him he's got to go home for the whole summer this year. Learn his family duty once and for all, or some rubbish. He says he's going to be really bored, but I don't know. I think he's scared, to be honest. Everyone says they're in pretty deep with you-know-who.
He'll be okay, though, won't he?
Remus fiddled with the corner of his bedsheet anxiously.
They can't force him to marry anyone again, and he's not of age yet, so he can't join up, or whatever.
James shrugged. He looked very tired too.
I don't know, mate,
he said softly.
I don't know what they want. Anyway, I'm not going anywhere. Let's start with potions, shall we?